I am 29 years old. I live in Mesa, Arizona, and I buy things that other people have stopped paying for. Storage units, freight that never got delivered, unclaimed airline luggage. Last year, I made $23,000 doing it. I drive a 2013 Nissan with an air conditioner that has not worked since 2022. In Arizona. And on the morning this starts, I had $640 in my account. I have a rule, and I tell people about it, which should tell you something. You never look at the photographs. You open a case, you sort what is inside it into 3 piles. Sell, donate, dump. And you do not look at the photographs. I say it like it is professionalism. In March, a warehouse outside Phoenix put up a pallet of unclaimed airline baggage. 41 cases sold as one lot, contents unknown, no returns. I paid $10,000 for it. That was every dollar I had and $4,000 I did not. It took me 2 days to get to the case at the bottom. Hard shell, black, older than everything else on the pallet. I opened it in my garage with a box fan running. I did not know what I was looking at. I sat on the floor and looked it up on my phone for about 40 minutes. $240,000.
Decide now what you would have done with it. Actually decide. You're going to want that later. Level 1. The garage. 41 cases takes 11 days. You do it in a garage in Arizona in March, which is still bearable, with a box fan and a folding table and a box of gloves. Most of a pallet is nothing. Clothes nobody wants, chargers for phones that stopped existing, half a bottle of duty-free gin, a breathing machine, 3 separate hairdryers. My neighbour Wes came out and asked me what I was doing, and I told him I was in the recovery business. Recovery, he said. Recovery, I said. I have never in my life recovered anything for anybody. Level 2. The tag. The black case had a paper tag tied to the handle with garden twine, not an airline tag. A tag somebody made themselves and laminated, the kind of thing you do when a thing matters. It said Ruth Coleman. It had a phone number on it with an area code from Michigan. Under the number it said, "If found, please call any hour." Any hour. Somebody wrote that on there and then laminated it. I took a photograph of that tag. I want to be accurate about that, because it comes up later. I did not lose the tag, I did not throw it away. I photographed it and I put it in a drawer in the kitchen, and I knew exactly where it was for the next 4 months. Level 3. The certificate. Inside the lid, there was an envelope. And in the envelope, there was a certificate from a workshop in Cremona, with a photograph of the instrument, a date, and a valuation from 2019. $240,000. I posted 3 photographs in a forum for string players that night. No context, just the scroll, the label inside, and the certificate with the name folded under. The replies came in about 90 seconds. Where did you get this? Who owns this? Is that certificate real? Somebody said the word stolen, and about 40 people jumped on him and said it was probably an estate sale, that things like this turn up, that it happens. I let them say it. I did not answer a single one of them. Level 4. The dealer. Hal Brennan drove out from Scottsdale on a Sunday. He is maybe 60. He wore a golf shirt, and he had cash in a paper bank envelope in his jacket before he had even opened the case. He looked at it for 4 minutes. He did not play it.
He looked at the scroll, and he looked inside it with a small torch, and he closed the lid. 40,000, he said. And I said yes so fast that he laughed. He actually laughed. A man does not laugh when you take his first number unless he was ready to go a great deal higher. "Any paperwork with it?" he said. "Certificate? Provenance? Anything?" And I told him no. There was an envelope 4 feet from his hand, and I told him there was no paperwork, because paperwork has names on it, and I had already worked out that names were the problem. Level 5. The listing. 6 weeks later, I found it on a dealer site out of Chicago. Same scroll, same old repair on the lower edge that I had photographed in my own garage. $239,000. So he made $199,000 for 4 minutes and a drive from Scottsdale, and I made 40 for 11 days in a garage and a decision I had about a second and a half to make. I told this story in a bar 6 times that year, and every single time it was a story about Hal Brennan. That was the part that bothered me. That was the injustice I had identified. Level 6. Ruth.
Ruth Coleman is 61. She has played that instrument since she was 31. She is a session musician in Michigan, and she flew to Phoenix the November before with one connection, and the airline put her case on the wrong aircraft, and then could not tell her which one. They paid her $3,800, because that is the limit of what an airline owes you for a bag, and it does not matter at all what is inside it. She spent 14 months calling warehouses. That is how she found me. Not the internet, not a lawyer. She called warehouses one at a time until one of them told her a pallet had gone to a reseller in Mesa, and then she started calling resellers in Mesa. She got me on the second try. She was polite on the phone. She said she was not accusing me of anything. She said she only wanted to know if I had seen a black case. I told her I would check my records and call her back. If that made you want to put your hand through the screen, that is the correct reaction. Hitting like is what pushes this in front of the next person it is going to do that to. Level 7. Conversion. Her lawyer used a word I had to look up. Conversion. It means treating property that belongs to somebody else as though it were yours, and it does not require you to have stolen anything, and it does not care in the slightest that I bought the pallet legally. What it cares about is the tag in my kitchen drawer. Because from the moment I photographed that tag, I knew who owned it, and everything I did afterwards, I did knowing. There is another one of these on the channel. A man who won $54 million and left the ticket with his mother to hold for one night. That one is worse than this. We settled in March for $62,000, which is $22,000 more than I ever had, paid at $800 a month for 6.5 years. Level 8. What it cost. I am 31 now. I have 4 years and 1 month left of paying Ruth Coleman $800 on the first of every month. She did not get it back. Hal Brennan sold it to a buyer in Seoul, and that was the end of that, legally, because he bought it in good faith, and I am the one who told him there was no paperwork. And when it comes up, I tell it the way I have told it 40 times. I tell people the airline is the one who lost it. I tell them the airline paid her $3,800 and walked away, and that nobody has ever sued the airline. I tell them Hal Brennan made $200,000 in 4 minutes,
and that nobody has ever once asked him a single question about it. All of that is true. Every word of it is true. I still buy pallets. I bought one in June. And I still do not look at the photographs. Subscribe and the next one lands on Friday. A man whose boss replaced him with an AI 3 weeks before the boss found out who actually owned the company domain. And before you go, that tag said, "If found, please call any hour." What would you have done? One word.